from now, I'm going to do the official welcome. So once again, welcome guys to the Zero to Hero project that we're going to be having for the next 90 days. I think this is going to be a completely life-changing experience. You're going to really enjoy, and you're going to really learn a lot. So let's definitely get started. And I want to say, first of all, I want to say welcome to all of you. As you were seeing, we are getting people from a number of different countries. We're getting people from different continents, from different cultures, from many different places. And obviously, I mean, from different levels of understanding on the internet. So it's going to be a very interesting 3 months that we're going to be spending together. It seems that we have a bit of a time delay on the slides. I'm actually just checking the slides. So right now you should be seeing one slide that says entering startup. So this is going to be our startup call, where I will be telling you exactly how things are going to work and what you can expect. And also we're going to be covering the first part of the puzzle. We're going to start covering the first part of the puzzle, which is the psychology. So once again, this is not session number 1. Actually, this is session number 0. And the reason why I'm getting this session is because, of course, I mean, starting from session number 1, I want to go 100% in pure content. But right now I'm going to session number 0 because, of course, there's a number of logistics and a number of things that you need to understand before we actually get into all the content part. So let me just tell you, I mean, as I was telling you, we have a full webinar room today. We have 12 contestants, and I will tell you who these are in a moment. We have registered 4 faculty cast members also on the call, and we have 12 participative audience members, and then we have 79 standby crowd. So let me tell you who these people are. First of all, the 12 contestants are going to be the ones which are going to be working as case studies. So we have right now 12. We are missing one that could not make it because he is actually in China, and it is 1 o'clock in the morning in China. So he's going to be actually joining us next on the next call, but he could make it on this call. But we have 12 contestants on the call. We have 4 faculty cast members on the call, 12 participative audience members, and 79 standby crowd. So let me just tell you what's the difference. The 12 contestants are going to be our case study members. We have also the audience, which are going to be people which are going to be observing how this is done. But obviously, I'm not going to be working directly with them on their business. But obviously, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they can actually learn. The cast members are going to be people which are also going to be helping me teach you all this great stuff about the internet. And as we were saying, we have 79 people standing by, just basically trying to understand how this all works, and hopefully they will also, some of them, join us later on as part of the audience. So this is more or less what we're having. So we have a full house for today. Still people are registering, but anyway, we always will be starting on time, so we're getting just started now. Now, as Rick was actually mentioning, what we are going to be covering is mainly the 12 pieces of the puzzle. If you are not 100% familiar with the 12 pieces of the puzzle, I will just quickly run over them. I will just not explain them right now, but I will just go over them, and then I'll tell you how we're going to be getting started. So we're going to go mindset, online infrastructure, online and offline persona, automation and outsourcing, content creation, multimedia marketing, email marketing, search engine marketing, search engine optimization, traffic generation, social media marketing, social media optimization, community management, analytics and business intelligence, joint ventures and affiliate marketing, and mobile marketing. So this is more or less what our 12 weeks are going to be throughout the 12 weeks, this is exactly what we're going to be learning. So the first piece of the puzzle is going to be the mindset. Now, on the mindset part, we have 2 elements, and this call, we're going to be covering 1 element only, and next week, we're going to be covering the second element of the mindset part. obviously we need two kinds of mindsets: the mindset of the people of the online entrepreneur, and basically how everything works on the internet. As I was explaining in another call, one of the things that happen is that people try to run a business online as they will do it offline, and as we all know, it's very, very different. So that what we're going to be covering next week is going to be how is the mentality of running a business on the internet, and how people think, and for example, how to overcome the fact that people are actually going to the internet looking for free stuff. So that's going to be more the technical part of the mindset section. Right now, there's another mindset that we also need to work on, and that is very, very important, and that is the mindset of the entrepreneur. So basically, your own mindset, and how we need to actually think in order for us to be successful online. So on this call, we're going to be covering, more than anything, we're going to be covering the way of thinking that you require in order to be successful on the internet, plus also the logistics of how this whole program is going to be working. So as I was telling you, a good part of what we're going to be doing is going to be related to psychology throughout this call. So we're not going to really be covering too much internet and marketing stuff, because of course I believe very strongly that the mindset part is absolutely critical. My mentor and someone that I have tremendous respect for, his name is Tony Robbins, and he says, reasons come first, results come second, and I fully agree with that. I mean, if we have enough reasons why to make things happen, we will be able to make it happen. However, if we don't have enough reasons, we will not really be able to make things happen the way that we would like to make things happen. So this is why we're going to be concentrating in the reasons why this is absolutely critical that you are doing this program. And anyway, you're already in the call and you're already in the program, so it's going to be really happening very nicely for you. So throughout these 12 weeks, I'm going to be covering the why, the what, the when, the how, the who, and the where of how everything is going to be happening. So this is what I'm going to be covering in the call. So let's just get started with the why. Once again, this is absolutely critical. Why is it that we need to really make sure that we have a very, very successful online business happening, and why am I doing this program? So let me tell you, I mean, for those of you that didn't know, I mean, some of you, for example, you were hearing a little bit earlier that they were previous students of mine of my coaching program. I have a coaching program that is called the Internet Marketing Iceberg Coaching Program. And what I actually started realizing, I mean, I had about 360 students, and it got to a point that I realized that many people were getting stuck very, very easily, because of course, I mean, that was everything set on a video. They had to, I was sending them assignments, and they had to watch the videos, and they had to do the things that I was telling them to do, but they didn't have the chance to actually talk to me and spending time with me on a one-on-one basis, or anybody else helping them. So of course people really got stuck. So one of the big differences between what I was doing previously and what I am doing right now is that right now you will have a chance to actually interact with me, because of course I want to make sure that you don't get stuck. Now, so that's the first reason why I am actually doing this webinar. Now let me go to reason number 2. Reason number 2 why this program is so important is because, of course, the ignorance tax on the internet is extremely expensive. This actually is a picture of one of the Monopoly games, and you are actually fined for ignorance tax. People are really suffering on the internet because, of course, they do not know how things work. So their ignorance tax, what they have to pay for not knowing it's very, very expensive to them. So let me give you some examples of the kind of ignorance tax that people are actually paying. First of all, because of course people do not understand many things about the internet, they basically become slaves of their webmaster. Because of course, not knowing how things work, I mean, they have to rely on a webmaster to change even the slightest thing. And because, of course, I mean, sometimes the webmaster is not available all the time for them because, of course, he or she has other customers, their website is obsolete very, very fast. Another reason why it's very, very important for you to understand what is this story of the ignorance tax is because, of course, some of you get to hire an SEO firm when your site sucks. I mean, why on earth would you actually like to bring traffic to a website that is absolutely crap? You don't want to do that, but of course that's the ignorance tax that you pay, right? Another of the reasons why you are paying too much tax on your ignorance on the internet is because, of course, you decided possibly to pay a fortune and then you got a useless website. I mean, this is so common right now. So many people that paid a lot of money for an absolutely useless website. Also, for example, another reason why people really are paying too much tax because of their ignorance on the internet is because they hire a crap online marketing firm to do marketing for their website, and obviously that does not give them results, and it becomes a big cost. So their website is a cost and not an asset. And also one of the reasons also why the ignorance tax is very, very high on people is because, of course, they're losing sales every single day, and of course, I mean, that is costing them a lot of money on their business. So that's another reason why I wanted to do this this program. And last but not least, their sites do not bring them absolutely new business, and that is also part of the ignorance tax that unknowingly you're actually paying by not knowing how all these things work on the internet. So what does that create? What does that bring for people? Well, that creates tremendous frustration. People get very frustrated. They have no clue what to do. They have no clue how to handle an online business, and then they get completely desperate. So I love this quote, and this comes from a book that is called Man's Search for Meaning from Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl was put in a concentration camp during the Second World War, and he wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning, which is a book that I definitely recommend you to read. And one of the things that he says is, when we are not longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. So through this, at this very moment, you have already, I mean, the fact that you're here, you have already identified that you have no clue how to make it happen on the internet, but you see a lot of people which are being very successful. So right now it's the time to change yourself, and this is the exact reason why you are actually here. Now, let me just explain to you what is the big problem with this. First of all, this is for me one of the most important charts that you can actually get. First of all, there's what I called unconscious incompetent. People are not aware that they lack a skill. I also call it unconscious ignorance. Basically, they do not know that they do not know. Now, the problem is, if they do not know that they do not know, they cannot do anything about it. So the goal is to actually make them conscious incompetent or consciously ignorant. So basically, they are aware that they lack a skill. So this is exactly where you are. I mean, most of the people that are outside there, that are not in this program and that have not done anything previously to try to educate themselves, they are unconsciously incompetent or unconsciously ignorant because they do not know that they do not know. Right now, at this point, the important fact is that we want to make you consciously incompetent. So basically, you're aware that you lack a skill. And then throughout these 90 days, we're going to make you consciously competent, which means that we're going to actively work at a skill, even though it will require a lot of thought. So I tell you, your mindset's going to change tremendously through these 90 days, but because, of course, we're going from a consciously incompetent way of being to a consciously competent way of being, and then hopefully we will be able to take you to a unconscious competent. That means that you will be able not to even think about it, but naturally, actually doing business on the internet will become second nature. So let me just ask you very quickly, does that make sense? If that makes sense, just please type there on your question section. Just say yes, okay, fine. Excellent, perfect, very good. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Okay, so let's move to the next element of it. Now, Let me tell you, as I was telling you, I've been doing coaching for a number of people, and now I think it's time for me to actually go into the next chapter of my life. Therefore, I want to tell you a little story. I think that the best way to learn is to actually providing stories. So, I mean, from the ancient times, I mean, the Native Americans were very good in providing giving stories and actually getting stories. I mean, in the Renaissance also, of course, stories were very important. And there also you can see me telling stories. I go about once a month to my son's school to actually read stories to the kids, because I believe very much that storytelling is absolutely critical. So I'm going to tell you a story of why I actually am putting this program together. I'm also, for some of you that have not really spent time with me or met me, I'm going to also tell you my story, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm looking for throughout these 90 days from your side. So first of all, the first thing I want to tell you is how I actually came up with the idea of having this program. So first of all, let me just go back into the into my story, and then that will actually fit a little bit better of why I actually had the idea on this. So first of all, I mean, for those of you that do not know me well, first of all, I was actually born in Mexico, and my goal when I was in Mexico was to be an expatriate, to basically go and live somewhere else and work somewhere else. And you know what I was always told by well-meaning people, well-meaning individuals. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because, of course, there's a lot of things that you can also compare to what's going to happen with you the moment that you change your life through the internet. So a lot of people started telling me that is going to be very, very difficult. It's not going to happen. It's not going to really work for you. So if I would have just listened to them, trust me, I will not be where I am right now. So it's absolutely critical that you understand that a lot of naysayers are going to be saying, you know, what you're doing is crazy. It doesn't work, like they said that to me. But now what happened is, because of course I knew where I was going, I actually, one of the things that I wanted was to work for an airline, and the airline that I really admire and I really liked was KLM Royal Dutch Airlines, which obviously flew into Mexico, and then I actually managed to get myself a job in KLM. Now, this is where actually it becomes very, very important, and this is another lesson for you to write down, because this is another thing that is going to happen with you throughout this time that we're going to be working together. When I started working on KLM in Mexico, as I was telling you, I wanted to be an expatriate, so I was working in KLM in Mexico, but I wanted to go to the work in Amsterdam in the head office. And obviously they told me that it was going to be impossible. I actually was the first ever non-Dutch to go work in the Netherlands. And everybody was telling me that it was absolutely impossible. So basically, I applied for that job 43 times before I actually got that job in the Netherlands. That absolutely changed my life. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because, of course, I knew the formula for success, the ultimate success formula. And I'm going to just tell you the ultimate success formula right now, so make sure that you write it down. First of all, know what you want. Know what you want. As I was telling you, they were always telling me it was not going to be possible for me to make it happen, right? But I knew what I wanted. I wanted to work in Amsterdam in the head office from KLM, right? So know what you want. Point number two, you have to know what you are getting. Now, I told you 43 times I applied. Basically, they say that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Now, obviously, because of course I was applying to a job, I was able to change things in my application letter and on my CV. And actually, it was just over and over, and every time I was just changing something, and I just couldn't get it, and I just couldn't get it, and I just couldn't get it. It was until I actually managed to discover that it was my nationality, which in those days was Mexican, that they did not accept me. So what I did was I did not change the nationality. What I did was I just removed my nationality, and that's when I actually got the interview, and now the rest is history. So this is very important because, of course, first of all, even if you think that things are not going to work, what you need to do is you have to say, you have to know what you want. Second, know what you're getting, because of course, if things don't work, what do you have to do? Change the approach. And if things don't work, what do you have to do? Change the approach. Change the approach. Change the approach. On the internet, you're going to have to change the approach a number of times. Right now, you're changing the approach, and you're recognizing that it's absolutely critical and essential that you change that approach. So basically, after that, I did go to the Netherlands, and then there in the Netherlands was where initially I actually was hired because I was going to be taking care of the training department of KLM in Latin America, because of course my Spanish background. But then what happened is, in those days, it was the end of the first Gulf War, and nobody wanted to go to the Middle East. And I said, well, you know what? I am happy to go to the Middle East. I believe that there's going to be a lot of things happening, and that specific decision changed entirely my life. And once again, it's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. You're going to really be getting tremendous amount of opportunities on this course to take a number of decisions, and trust me, those decisions are going to change your life. After that, I also became the person responsible for the whole training of KLM around the world, and I had the opportunity to visit over 100 and something countries, and right now, according to peoplemosttraveled.com, I am the 247th most traveled person in the world. So that basically gives me a very global view of how a lot of people are actually working. Then basically, and when I actually left KLM, one of the decisions that I wanted was to actually be an entrepreneur and get started with the internet. And for some of you, for example, the same thing, to actually have a business that I could work anytime, wherever I wanted, and have a tremendous impact over people. And this is basically why I chose the internet. The internet has been amazing. And right now, if you actually Google my name around, you will see that there's over 4 million results that I have been diligently working on and actually creating that reputation for myself online. And right now, I mean, if the ones most prominent are that I am the Middle East #1 internet marketing expert. Now, very, very important, and this is another very important thing, another very important lesson that I wanted to also share with you. Throughout the internet, your story is going to become absolutely critical. I mean, on the internet and throughout life, stories are critical. Now, I told you in a nutshell the story of my life. I mean, in a nutshell, basically how everything worked. And I can guarantee you that there were a number of things that were learning points from you. Sorry, for you. So that's why it's very, very important that we start thinking of stories. So right now, because of course, I mean, my latest project, the project that I've been working for the past 6 months is my television show, Amazing Websites Television. Now my brain is actually thinking, you know, television, 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 television. So I basically have to start thinking, well, how can I actually implement all these things that I am learning from putting together my TV show, and try to actually take my present, my past, and take it into the future. And once again, I had to incorporate the story of the stories very, very, very powerfully in a different way. So basically, right now, what I am actually trying to create with some of you is the ultimate success story, and that's exactly what I'm going to be trying to create with you. Now, let me explain to you what that is. As I was telling you, I started with my TV show, and then I started realizing how big and how strong reality shows were on television. I mean, if you actually think about it, there's right now hundreds of different reality TV shows, and I was just absolutely amazed by why they are so popular and why they have been captivating people's minds. And let me tell you why they have been so powerful. I mean, I recently read a book that I'm going to recommend you to. I'm going to recommend you also to get, because later on, when you read, once again, the story of your life, the story of your business, on the internet is absolutely critical, and you will know exactly how that is. I mean, there's a book that is called 20 Basic Plots, and it's not really a very big book. It's basically a book to help you write a novel or to help you write the story. Great book, really, really great book, and in many cases you can even get it at for very small money in Amazon. I mean, even for less than $1, you can actually get this book. And basically, they explain on this book 20 basic plots that it doesn't matter what happens. There's only 20 different stories. That's it. 20 different stories. So every story that happens around life, in films, in everything, it has only 20 different versions. So we have the quest, the adventure, the pursuit, the rescue, the escape, revenge, the riddle, rivalry, the underdog, temptation, metamorphosis, transformation, maturation, love, forbidden love, sacrifice, discovery, wretched excess, ascension, decision. Those are the 20 different stories that you can actually have, and your story is going to be it's going to be a mix of one or two or three or possibly more. Now, why is it that reality TV is so incredibly appealing to people? Because of course they have a mix of all these different plots. So they have the quest, the pursuit, the rescue, rivalry, the underdog, metamorphosis, the big change, you know, the transformation, maturation. Suddenly, I mean, it was the guy that didn't know anything and suddenly became the big guy. Once again, this Zero to Hero is metamorphosis, transformation, maturation, quest, discovery, ascension, decision, rivalry. Can you see how all these things that I'm actually creating goes inside the 20 basic plots? So basically what I am trying to do is create as a case study, a story, a success story, not only for you guys, because of course I want you to be successful, but the moment that you are successful, I will also be successful, because of course we are using a model that we know very well that works very, very well. So right now, throughout these 90 days, we are going to be using the metamorphosis or the transformation, which actually is one of the most powerful stories that has ever come up in anywhere. I mean, possibly you are familiar with the work of George Bernard Shaw on Pygmalion. Pygmalion, basically, the moment that I'll show you the next slide, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. But the original story is actually called Pygmalion, and possibly later on you heard of My Fair Lady, how this gentleman transformed a lady that had absolutely no education, that had absolutely no manners, that had absolutely no way of behaving in society, and transformed her into a complete lady. So this transformation, this metamorphosis, is exactly what I am talking about. The modern version of Pygmalion is Pretty Woman. Possibly you saw the film Pretty Woman, on how she goes from being a hooker in the streets to actually becoming a very respectful lady. And this transformation is just, you know, those stories that absolutely captivate people. And this is exactly what we're going to be going through on these 90 days. A story of transformation, a story of quest. Right now, some of you don't really have a business, and you're going to be able to transform entirely your business. You're going to be able to change your business. Some of you are saying, well, I would like to change my way of thinking on so that I will be able to start making money on the internet. So these 90 days that we're going to be spending together are going to be completely on writing a story on complete transformation, metamorphosis, complete quests. So as you can see, this is it's going to be very, very powerful. Now, where is exactly where I actually came up from with this idea? Well, very recently, I had the opportunity to share the stage in an event with Christy Frank. Now, if you do not know who Christy Frank is, let me just tell you, Christy Frank was one of the ladies on the original version of The Apprentice. I do not know if you have actually seen The Apprentice, but I mean, it is a show that I really used to like. I mean, I got a little bit bored of it because, of course, it was just season after season. It was exactly the same thing. And now that they put how's it called, the celebrities, I was not really very much, I didn't really like it that much. But however, the original Apprentice shows, they were absolutely amazing. So I was doing a presentation, and also Christy was doing a presentation, and I listened to her talk, and I just could see the tremendous transformation of how, I mean, from the moment that she just joined the Apprentice to the moment that she left the Apprentice, her life completely changed. Now, I saw her saying that, and I said, my goodness, this is cool. It will be really so cool to actually do a thing like this. And then I started seeing, for example, I mean, American Idol, or I started seeing Britain's Got Talent. And then I started seeing the transformation stories, and they absolutely captivated me. Now, I do not know if you remember this singer. I'm sure that you have. I'm sure that you have seen the video on YouTube. His name is Paul Potts. This guy, he was a telephone salesman in Wales, and I mean, completely unsure of himself. He didn't really know exactly what was going on, but he was a talented guy. So he arrived, he sang there, and he absolutely blew the audience away, and his life entirely changed. If you see him in the picture on the right, he is there with Oprah Winfrey, and as you can see, I mean, his life completely changed. The same thing happened, for example, for this lady here, Susan Boyle. Susan Boyle also had a Pygmalion effect and completely changed her life. Well, this is exactly what Zero to Hero is going to be, totally, completely having a transformation situation. Now, the only time that I have actually done this, working on a one-on-one basis with somebody, is with a guy called Alex Berezovsky. And this guy also had absolutely no clue what to do with his business. He was selling kitchen appliances, being an affiliate from Amazon.com. And he didn't really, guys, I see that some of you are not really looking at the screen, and they're not attentive. So I'm going to ask you to please start watching the presentation. Excellent, very good, thank you. As you can see, I mean, I can actually watch that. So please stay with me because I have a lot of very important information. So please stay with me. Okay, so I was telling you, I mean, this guy Alex is the first time. It was the first person ever that I actually worked with, and right now, I mean, he is the #1 internet marketer in Latin America, and he's actually my first millionaire student. And the big difference that I did with him, that I did not do with the rest of the people, was because, of course, he was having access to me, and actually I was basically working with him on a day-to-day basis. And what happened was that he, of course, completely changed his life. I mean, from being, you know, making not really that much money on the internet, to right now becoming the #1 internet marketer in Latin America, to now being my first and only millionaire student. So obviously, when I started putting together all these pieces of, I mean, all these things in my mind, I said, you know what? I think the next thing that I need to do is I have to make sure that I actually get a group of people, and I will take them through a transformation process in a very similar fashion as they do in reality television. So, and having that said, let me tell you, I mean, I had the opportunity and I had the good fortune to be mentored by an incredible person. His name is Anthony Robbins. I spent a lot of time doing a lot of stuff with him in his seminars and his events. Obviously, he has changed the life and transformed the life of thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Recently, you can see him there sending Oprah Winfrey through the calls. And also, I mean, if you were on my event in Align recently, you possibly also walked the calls with me. And I can tell you, I mean, the guy changed my life. I mean, just by simply, you know, this is a very important. This is a very important quote that I want you to write down. Proximity is power. Proximity is power. If you're actually next to somebody that has access, that has power, that has knowledge, your life can definitely be transformed in a heartbeat. And this is exactly what happened to me. I mean, it was not that Tony and I were friends. right? But what happened was that I had that proximity to him, and of course, because of that, my life changed completely in many, many different ways. So this is also one of the things which is absolutely critical for you to take into consideration during these 90 days that we're going to be working together. So right now, we're just about to get started with this From Zero to Hero project. Now, let me ask you again, once again, I would like to get a little bit of understanding, a little bit of your feedback. Does this make sense? Can you see why this program is going to be incredibly powerful? Can you just type it there on your question, section, please? Fantastic. Okay, perfect. Excellent. Now you can see why this is going to be so very exciting. Okay, so now let's just get changed. Let's just get started with what actually happened. So I decided to put this is a project that I've been already working for over a month, trying to get everyone. I first sent an email. And it was just really incredible for me, because what happened was that I sent an email and suddenly I got a lot of people. As we were saying, right now we have a nice full room of people still trying to see how all this is going to work. And I mean, I had a lot of people coming, and it reminded me exactly of how the auditions actually work for the From Zero to Hero project. And this is exactly what happened. I mean, I started really getting a lot of people. Now, let me tell you what was the criteria for me to select the contestants. Once again, we have contestants and we have audience. So my contestants, the reason why I wanted to work with them is because they have an existing website, but they're not making money with it. Second, their minimum yearly turnover was $100,000. And also, or they have a great idea in mind. So that was actually where I started trying to recruit for this project. And guess what? I mean, throughout a number of telephone calls, right now we have total contestants, this time 12. Actually, we have 13. We have one more. The guy from China was telling you, but actually he just signed up just prior than I finished this presentation. We have total contestants 12. That I'm going to be working with them over and over, making sure that everything is going to work fine. And we're also going to be having part of the audience that are going to be seeing how this is done. But obviously, I'm not going to be getting involved in their day-to-day business building. So now what happened was that after I suddenly started recruiting all these people, they were all sort of people telling me, yeah, you know, I would also like to be part of this. I would also like to be part of this. And this is exactly when I said, well, you know, I am also going to be adding some people to actually watch this entire process. And then what I started doing is I also started finding out people to actually be part of the audience. So I not only started, you know, trying to find candidates, but I also wanted to start trying to find people that were appropriate to be there in the audience. And something very, very interesting actually happened. A lot of them actually got themselves fired. I'm sure that possibly you remember the very, very famous words of Donald Trump on The Apprentice, "You're fired." So let me tell you, why is it that I actually got a lot of people that were not, I did not choose, I mean, from all the people that wanted to be part of this project, why I didn't choose them. And the reason why they happened is because all these people were survival mode individuals. Now, if you actually made it to be part of the audience, or obviously, I mean, the audience part, but obviously the contestants are not people which are in survival mode. Let me tell you what absolutely blew me away, and this is the reason why I started saying, well, you know, we only have to have in this group people which are not in survival mode. Let me tell you what people which are in survival mode, how they think, and how they actually fired themselves from being part of this project, even though they want to do stuff, right? First of all, people which are in survival mode are penny wise, pound foolish. That's the first thing that I completely identified. I mean, they do not really, they want to, you know, they are playing out of scarcity. They have this mentality of scarcity. So every single person inside of the group that we're going to be working on, they have to start thinking of abundance. we are going to have to start thinking abundantly, and we're going to have to take some risks. And some of them, yes, they are financial risks, because of course, I mean, you're going to have to do some things in order for things to change. So obviously, if you want to make it happen on these 90 days, you should not be operating in survival mode. And first of all, you should not be penny wise, pound foolish. Don't try to save a little bit here so that you will be able to have the riches afterwards. So that's why it's absolutely critical that you are not penny wise, pound foolish. And I'm going to be mentioning it very, very, very frequently, because obviously I know that possibly, I mean, you even managed to fool me and you possibly are in survival mode. But, I mean, one way or the other managed to answer the questions that I asked you correctly. So I tell you, if you are going to be working on this project, you cannot be penny wise, pound foolish. Because, of course, that is not good, because then that means that you don't have that abundance mentality that you require in order for you to be successful on the internet. So let me just go to the next one. First of all, people which are in survival mode, they want food for today, even if they starve tomorrow. They are people that are blindsided by their day-to-day existence. Now, if you want to make things happen for you in this Zero to Hero project, you have to think not only today, but you also have to think 2 months from now, 3 months from now, 5 months from now. You have to be able to actually project into the future the riches and the things that you would like to actually achieve with this project. So that's why the survival mode work is not going to be really working for you. So once again, as I was telling you, the person that changed my life says, it is in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. So the fact that you're here, that has told me that you have already taken that decision that changed your life. So the only thing which is going to boycott you of actually achieving what you want is having that survival mode mentality. So once again, let me ask you, are you understanding that you could not be on survival mode if you are going to be part of this program? And if you agree that you are not going to be on survival mode, please let me know and tell me yes on your question. Fantastic. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I really wanted to get this point across, because that's actually the thing, the only thing that is going to really make you stop. So let's just move forward. I do not know if you saw a film. One of my favorite films of all times is a film called Mr. Destiny with James Belushi and Michael Caine. It is an absolutely great film about a guy which is a baseball player. And he has the thought that he's not really a very good baseball player, and then suddenly he gets the pitch, and then when he's going to hit the ball, he actually misses the ball and he strikes out. And because that struck out, because of actually believing that that was his destiny, he had a really crappy life for the rest of his life. However, there's also a parallel reality on that film where at this point, when he was about to hit that ball, suddenly he believes in himself, he hits the ball is a home run, and then what happens is that his entire life changes, because then he's actually hired by somebody from the major leagues, and he's taken to a complete life of luxury and happiness. And that all happens because at that specific moment of decision, he had a chance to either believe in himself or not believe in himself. The moment that he believes in himself, his entire life changes. However, the moment that he doesn't believe in himself, that specific moment of decision of not believing in himself, that specific time, what happens to him is that he completely ruined his life. Right now, you are in that specific moment of decision. You are about to either strike a home run or get a struck out. So that's exactly where you are. It's going to be your decision. So you have to believe that you're going to make it happen. You don't have to, I mean, I can only take the horse to the water. However, I cannot make the horse drink. And it is absolutely critical. The whole thing is not only coming on my shoulders, but it also has to be on your shoulders. This has to be the responsibility of being on every call, to listen to the stuff that you have to listen, to do the homework that you have to do, to make sure that you do change your life. Because right now you are in the crossroads and whatever decision that you're going to be taking is going to go either for the good side or for the bad side, and that is actually entirely up to you. So, as I was telling you, I mean, this was the guy that I changed his life. He actually did all the things that I told him to do. He just followed the formula, because everything on the internet is a formula, but you need to follow it. Once again, I can only take the horse to the water, but I cannot make this guy, I cannot make the horse drink. And I was telling you, I changed the life of this guy. If you do not know who it is, just actually Google his name, and you're going to see that he's now a big guy on the market. And why did he actually accomplish that? Because of course he diligently followed the advice that I actually told him to do. So if I actually made it happen with him, I can guarantee you that I can make it happen with you. But the responsibility is not going to be only on myself, but also is going to be in you. It's going to be also with you. So let me just ask you one more question: are you willing to take that responsibility? I'm going to be on top of you throughout these 90 days. I'm going to be just, I mean, as often as possible on top of you, but you have to do your part. Are you open with that? Fantastic, perfect. Well, this is exactly what I wanted to get across. So now let's go very quickly into the people that we're having on the Zero to Hero. As we were saying, we have the 12 participants and the 12 contestants. We're going to be calling them contestants. I want to actually stick to the metaphor of the reality show. So we're going to be having the contestants. Later on today, I'm going to be sending you an email if you are a contestant, because possibly it's not clear for you who's a contestant and who is audience. I will be actually sending you an email, and you will know if you are a contestant or if you are you're part of the audience. So I will be telling you who you are, right? And also we're going to be having the participative audience. If you are within the audience, you could also ask questions. Remember, the only thing is that I will not be getting involved with your business. That's the only thing that I'm not going to be doing, while I am going to be doing that with the contestants. With the contestants, I'm going to be working 180 days. With the audience, I'm only going to be working 90 days. So these are the two kinds of people that we're going to be having in the group. Also, by the way, for some of you, if you are on the call right now and you would like to be part of the audience, please send me an email to ernesto@entertrainingmail.com and send me your Skype ID. Obviously, this is not a charity, so obviously there is a cost involved. I will not tell you right now what it is, but obviously it is there is a cost. But as you can see, it could be also very, very powerful. So we're getting started next week, obviously, so make sure to connect with me immediately. Okay, so now I have a very, very important question for you. If you do not understand the internet today, how are you going to understand the internet tomorrow? Again, if you do not understand the internet today, how are you going to understand the internet tomorrow? I do not know if you watched the videos that I was actually doing promoting this Zero to Hero project, but I was basically saying, well, you know, I mean, there's a number of things of what is happening on the internet right now, and then I got a glimpse of how the internet will be in the future. So that's why it's absolutely critical that we get started with how the internet is right now, so that we will be able to understand how the internet is going to be tomorrow. One of the slides that I very frequently use is the Rogers Innovation Adoption Curve. As we can see here, the innovators, the early adopters, and right now we're getting after the chasm in the early majority. I mean, we're really getting a little bit further up into the curve in that sort of orange color there. So basically what happens is and more people are getting on the internet. Now, good news about it, the internet has totally changed. Therefore, it's like if we are in the green part with the innovators, because of course there has been a inflection point. If you have never heard of an inflection point, let me just show it to you so that you understand how that works. We are right now in this inflection point where obviously, I mean, however the internet worked a few years ago, if it will continue to work that way, it will just start declining. I mean, right now the whole thing has changed. The new internet has now restarted, and right now we're getting into an inflection point. This is a theory from Andy Grove. Andy Grove was the CEO of Intel a few years ago, and how he actually took Intel from being a very small company to being one of the most important companies on the how is it called? Well, you know, in creating how are they called? Those chips, how the computers run, if you know what I mean. But anyway, I mean, the important thing is now the internet has changed dramatically, has changed totally, and right now we are getting into a new height. So if you actually learn the things that we're going to be doing, learning throughout these 90 days, I can guarantee you that the opportunities are very, very high. So right now, if you keep on doing what you are doing, trust me, your business is not going to only stay the same, but it's actually going to decline. So it's very, very important, this inflection point part. Now, this might be a little bit difficult for you guys to understand, but basically this is for me the best way to understand what's going to happen to us throughout this 90 days. I mean, if you actually do a little bit of research into something that is called a wormhole, you will see that there's actually parallel realities. There's different kind of universes. I mean, whoever says that you know, there's no life in the universe, I mean, how could you think that? I mean, there's so much things happening on the parallel universe. There's even parallel universes. Obviously, I mean, there's other forms of intelligence in other parts of the world. Sorry, of the universe. So basically, imagine that we're actually getting into one to the entrance of the wormhole, and then afterwards, after these 90 days, we're going to be able to actually get ourselves into the exit of these wormholes. So right now, we are living in one universe, and actually, we are moving to another universe. Basically, I mean, a lot of people have been debating and saying all sorts of things about what's going to be happening in 2012, and possibly you have been hearing the doomsayers of what on earth is going to be happening in 2012. In reality, what's going to be happening is that we are actually going to get into a parallel consciousness level, or if you want to put it into these terms, it's going to be another universe. So we are right now, whatever is happening right now in your universe, in your world, that's one thing. But the moment that you understand all these concepts, you're going to be switched into another universe. Now, the incredible thing is, there's a way in how you can actually understand both universes, both ways of thinking. Now, thinking back into the same metaphor, if you understand how the new internet works, you will be able to also understand how the old internet works, and also incorporate some of these elements, and also you will be able to understand exactly how the offline world works. So basically, you're expanding your universe of consciousness to be able to be and accomplish whatever you would like to accomplish. Now, let me tell you, that has its challenges, and this is also very important. Using that exact metaphor, I'm going to give you another metaphor that also possibly will strike a chord to you so that you will understand what is going on. As you possibly know, I've been living in Amsterdam good part of the past 15 years. Obviously, I mean, I've been also spending a lot of time in the Middle East and a lot of traveling, but basically my primary residence was the Netherlands. And I was living in Amsterdam. Right now, I am actually living in the US. I am living in Texas. And actually, moving from Amsterdam to the US was going into a wormhole. Exactly like going to a wormhole. I mean, I went from one reality to a complete different reality. Does that make sense? I mean, I just basically moved from one reality to another completely different reality. So now I suddenly arrived to a complete different reality. I also need to understand how things work. Now, let me tell you, I've been a number of times to the States. I know a number of different states, but I had never really lived here. And there were two things that were completely foreign to me. I had absolutely no clue what they were all about. So what I did is, obviously, I mean, they had to do with the way that finances were actually done. So what I did is I enrolled myself into Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University because I wanted to learn how the financial system worked in the States. I mean, first of all, the first time I moved from Mexico to the Netherlands. That was also a wormhole, and I had to actually learn all the rules of how everything worked. Now I moved over here, and even though I understand most of the rules, there were some financial rules that I didn't really understand. And there were two things that I really wanted to learn, because of course they were going to change the way that I actually live in this new country. And that was one. I mean, here in the US, they have a very, very, very specific way of handling credit, for example, and how they actually deal with entrepreneurs. In every country is different, but this country has their particular rules, and you need to understand them, because if you do not understand them, there is no way that you will be able to get a mortgage, or you will be able to get established in many things. I mean, I could possibly buy a house myself, but I mean, I would not be able to actually rent a house if I wanted to go somewhere, because of course if I wanted to rent a house, I needed to have the proper credit report, and there were many things that I didn't understand. So I actually wanted to go to this Financial Peace University so that I will be able to understand how that works. Basically, I changed from one reality to another reality. Another thing that was very, very important for me to understand was this story about taxes. And this also is very, very much linked towards what I will be also mentioning about the internet. It's because, of course, in the subject of taxes, the way that I was, sorry, not taxes, insurance, I'm sorry, in insurance and also the taxes part. But anyway, the insurance part, I mean, on the Netherlands, it works one way, and here in the States, it works in a complete different way. And guess what? If you actually do not know how this works, you will be paying a very high ignorance tax. For example, you could have the wrong life insurance, or possibly you will be saying, well, you know, I possibly don't really need disability insurance, which is exactly what you will be requiring. Possibly your medical insurance will not be covering what you would like to have covered, and you could have possibly the wrong homeowner's insurance, and possibly also you could get the wrong automobile insurance. And just because of not knowing how the insurance industry works over here, I could take stupid decisions, and those stupid decisions afterwards are going to cost me a lot of money. So exactly what I was telling you right now, you are getting into a wormhole from going from one reality to another reality. And the most sad part is that if you do not know how things work, you're going to end up paying quite a lot of money. So that's why right now that you're changing your entire way of seeing things, you first of all cannot afford under any circumstances to be penny wise, pound foolish. And also, you need to make sure that you don't pay a very high ignorance tax, because that's what is going to really, really affect you on your business. So basically, once again, uneducated decisions are very, very expensive. And that's how people run their businesses, by taking uneducated decisions, right? They have no clue how things work, and then they take decisions and they do stupid things. So that's why it's very important that throughout these 90 days, before I actually start working with you as a contestant for the implementation, it's absolutely critical that you understand all these concepts so that you actually can take informed and educated decisions. Because once again, the thing that is going to affect you the most is the ignorance tax. The ignorance tax can absolutely kill you. And once again, you have already taken that decision, and it's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. So just to round this up, let me tell you what is the essence of the Zero to Hero project. So first of all, you have to get ready to change. You have to get ready to change. And also bear in mind, I'm going to be giving you tough love. In a university study, they say that alumni remember the professors who love them enough to demand their best work. So throughout these 90 days, I'm going to be demanding your best work. I don't want excuses. I want results. There's two things, excuses or results. I'm going to be very, very intolerant of excuses, because of course I want you to be successful. So let me just ask you once again, are you okay with that? Are you okay that I'm going to be giving you some tough love, and I'm going to be demanding results and not excuses? Fantastic. Okay, perfect. That is exactly how I wanted to see it. Excellent. So I really love this. I really love this. Well, I do not know if it's a quote or not. It says, grammar. the difference between knowing your shit and knowing your shit. Basically, I think it's very, very important that you understand I do know my shit. And obviously, I want to make sure that you are not shit. So this is exactly the essence of what we're going to be working on this program. So these are the rules of the game. Rule number one, I'm going to be working 90 days and 180 days with the, depending on what you are, if you're going to be audience or if you're going to be participants. If you're going to be contestant, sorry, 90 days with the audience and going to be working 180 days with the contestants. Second, here, nobody gets fired unless you are not willing to provide results. I don't want excuses. I don't want excuses. I mean, you can have either results or excuses, and I don't really want excuses. Third, we are all here to grow and learn. So everybody, I'm also going to be learning. It's the first time that I'm doing this in a group, and it's also going to be a learning experience. So obviously tolerance is very important, but also we are all here to grow and learn. Next, obviously the audience and the contestants have different privileges. And obviously, I mean, this whole thing is for more than anything for the contestants, but obviously the audience is also going to be getting tremendous value and tremendous amount of this. But the contestants, they are going to be getting a lot of more privileges and attention and everything, obviously. But of course, I will also be paying attention to some of you guys in the audience. Now, very important, what you need to do is you have to show up, you have to participate, and you have to implement. Those are the three rules that I want from you. I want you to show up, I want you to participate, and I want you to implement. If you actually do this stuff, things are going to really work very, very nicely. And we are going to be focusing on results, results, results. You have absolutely no right to blame me if you did not implement. Okay? You have every right to blame me if I did not tell you how things need to happen, but it's you that needs to implement. And I'm going to be on top of you so that you implement, because what I want is I want to make sure that you actually get the results. And yes, there will be a prize and a winner, and I will actually be mentioning that a little bit later on the program. So those are the rules of the game, and this is exactly how we're going to be playing for the next 90 days. Now, when is it going to be happening, and how is it going to be happening? Well, let's just go over that information also very quickly. Once again, going into the reality television kind of work that we're going to be doing. Another show that got me very, very inspired to do this is called The Next Internet Millionaire, which I recommend you to go and watch. I mean, if you have a chance, it's something that, I mean, it's not really part of the curriculum of what we're going to be doing, but the learning is absolutely amazing. So it is, you can just go to, I think it's nextinternetmillionaire.com or the nextinternetmillionaire.com, and you can actually watch all the episodes, download and watch them on television. They're absolutely great. And basically, as you can see, they also have 12 episodes. I'm going to start calling the calls that we're going to be having them. I'm going to start calling them episodes because I want to stick to the same metaphor of the TV reality show. We're going to have 12 episodes, and every episode is going to be covering one section of the puzzle. And this is how we're going to be actually working. So first of all, let's just talk about the 12 pieces of the puzzle for those of you that are not 100% familiar with the pieces of the puzzle. So right now we have been covering mindset. Now let me ask you a question. Do you think that that all of these things that I've been telling you today are important to actually get the basis for what we're going to be doing for the next few months? Or do you think that we should just have jumped on top, jumped for the content? Important. Perfect. Excellent. Very good. So, okay. So now we know the mindset. The mindset, we're going to start next week. We're going to start with the mindset of how things work on the online. So what's the mindset online? Next, we're going to be talking about the online infrastructure. Remember, you don't only need a website. You need a number of different online properties in order for you to be successful. Just think of it this way. What is it better? How could you actually catch more fish? With a pole, with a fishing pole, or with a net? Obviously with a net, right? So you need an online infrastructure to be able to catch as much fish as possible. And this is exactly what we're going to be working with. Next, your offline and your online persona, or the way that you actually want your company or your business to be perceived online. And this is also a very, very important topic that we're going to be covering with on week number 3. Automation and outsourcing. This is just absolutely critical. And actually, I changed a little bit around the lessons because I wanted to make sure that everything was implemented at the right specific time. We all need to automate. With the internet. We can automate all the way to 90% of the stuff that we do. And also the outsourcing part is absolutely critical for you to actually be able to be successful. You're going to have to outsource everything. You don't want to do everything yourself. Next is going to be content creation, because right now we are in a content economy, and the more content that we can provide, the better that we're going to do on the internet. Next is multimedia marketing, how we can use video and audio to actually sell our product correctly. Next is going to be email marketing, which I think is the linchpin of the entire internet business, and hardly anybody knows how to implement. So we're going to be talking about a very, very important way on how to run email marketing campaigns, how everything is done, and we're going to really know how to use email as a best way to actually bring business to us. Then we're going to be talking about search engine marketing, search engine optimization in order for us to generate traffic. Next is going to be social media marketing, social media optimization, and community management. We're going to learn how to actually get as much traffic as possible from social media and all the things that we need to do through social media. We're going to learn how to learn our analytics. As Tom Peters says, whatever gets measured gets done or gets improved, and that's going to be another very, very important component of the 90 weeks. We're going to be talking about joint ventures and affiliate marketing, and our last topic is going to be mobile marketing. And yes, I'm going to throw one bonus section, which is going to be on implementation, and that's going to be on week number 13. So basically, this is going to be the agenda. Week number 1, mindset. It's going to be a 90-minute call plus 30 minutes Q&A. Week number 2, online infrastructure with the same format. Week number 3, online and offline persona. Week number 4, automation and outsourcing. Week number 5, content creation. Everything on a 90-minute call plus 30-minute Q&A. Then multimedia marketing, same format. Email marketing. Traffic generation through search engine marketing and search engine optimization. Social media marketing, community management, and social media optimization on week 9. Week 10, analytics and business intelligence. On week 11, joint ventures and affiliate marketing. And on week 12, mobile marketing. And then on week 13, we're also going to be having an implementation call for everybody that has, well, it's going to be more than anything a question and answer session for those of you that are still having some loose ends. So that's going to be more or less how everything is going to be working. So this is very important. I will actually have to tell you this because, of course, you're going to be asking me this question afterwards. Weekly sessions will be recorded. So the weekly sessions will be recorded. And if you did not manage to make it to the call because of X, Y, or Z reason, the only thing that you're going to be missing on is going to be on your question and answer session. However, you will need to make sure that you watch the video within the week. So you're going to be getting it about 24 to 36 hours after we have done the call. You will be getting the video, and you can do it. But of course, I mean, you have to make sure that you are in the as much as possible are on the live sessions. Second, I will be providing you with a lot of supporting material. So make sure that you also create some files on your computer for the supporting material. There's a Facebook secret group which is open 24/7 for questions and answers. So very important. If you're not inside of the Facebook secret group, once again, this is open only for this is open only for the people that have already signed up as part of the audience, and also the contestants. Anyone else will not be allowed inside the Facebook secret group. If you don't have a login, just send me an email and I'll be gladly to set you up. But I have already sent a couple of emails so that you can actually get yourself set up. So this is only for the people which are signed up on the From Zero to Hero project. Okay, next, individual. You're going to have an individual track system to check on your progress. So basically, yeah, Amir, I have already set you up there, Amir. I know that you're asking there. I have already set everybody that has already sent me, which is in the group. I have already set you up in the Facebook and answer on the Facebook secret group. There's going to be an individual track system to check on your progress. That is going to be set up within the next few days. So I'm going to send you a specific tracking system so that I can actually check on your progress. Next, once again, the contestants, they're going to have 90 days of implementation, and then afterwards they're going to have 4 one-on-one strategy consultations with me the next 90 days afterwards. And once again, the contestants will have priority access to my team. So you're going to be requiring help. My team will be able to help you, and you will have priority in whatever happens. Even if it is with my other customers which are already using my team, you will also have priority to possibly work with them. And also I have 17, I just counted them today, 17 surprise bonuses. And that is only for the contestants that I'm going to be giving all of you. So now those are the things that I wanted to tell you. Now let's go. Who is going to be who's going to be working on this project? First of all, let me introduce you to the faculty cast. So it's going to be, we're going to have the appearance once in a while from my good friend Dave Crane, teaching us some stuff on social media and video marketing. We're also going to be getting the co-author of the project of the jigsaw puzzle. My friend Barry Cummings is also going to be there helping us a little bit throughout these 12 weeks. We're going to be getting James Reynolds, which is going to be also giving us some information on search engine optimization. We are going to be getting also Christian Farioli, which is going to be telling us a lot about how things work with pay-per-click advertising. And we're also going to be getting Lasse Rahunian, which is going to be helping us with social media. And we have two extra speakers, which I will be revealing a little bit later on. So that's what you can expect at the throughout the 12 weeks. So now, where is it going to be working and how is it going to be working? Please stay with me because I still have important homework that you actually need to do. So let's just get started. First of all, the whole program is going to be conducted through webinars, also through the Facebook group that is only available for the people which is signed up for the Zero to Hero project. And also some of the calls are going to be done on a one-on-one basis through Skype. The Skype part is very, very important that you actually listen to this because it's more for the contestants, not so much for the audience. I'm going to be focusing on the contestants, and also very, very important, it is only based, I'm not going to be just taking calls on Skype every time. I'm not going to be on call for everyone because, of course, that will be just absolutely crazy. So first of all, ask your question on the Facebook group. If there's a necessary, I will be glad to help you. But please avoid every time that you have an opportunity just calling me because I am also working and I also need to have a little bit of privacy. So please make sure that you have respect on that side, on the Skype part. And the last platform that we're going to be using is called the Jigsaw Box platform, which you're going to have your own account to actually, for me, be checking your progress. So here is your to-do list, and this is going to be our last part. Here is your to-do list for next week. So first of all, what I need you to do is I want you guys to get yourself a binder for all the material you receive. I will be sending you this presentation And every presentation that I do, I'm going to be sending it to you, and I'm going to ask you to make sure that you print it. So make sure that you have a binder so that you will be able to print all the material that you receive. Point number 2, I want you to participate frequently on the Facebook page. So just drop by, ask questions, share resources, ask someone else's question if you have the answer. Try to participate as often as possible on the Facebook page. Make sure that you install Firefox. Professionals do not use Internet Explorer. If you are working on Internet Explorer, please don't do that. It's just a sin. So please don't do that. Install Firefox and make sure that you work on Firefox. And it's absolutely critical. Make sure that you install Firefox. Next thing is check for an email with more stuff that I'm going to be sending you for you to do this week. So I'm going to be sending you participants and audience another email with stuff for you to do this week. And also I want you to install the following stuff in your computer. First of all, it's stuff that we need to do and install. I want you to make sure that you go to a website called www.quirk.biz/search status, and I want you to install search status in your computer. Then I want you to open a YouTube channel. So please make sure that you open a YouTube channel. Make sure that you open a YouTube channel. Next, I want you to get a Pinterest account. If you don't have a Pinterest account and it cannot let you sign up for free, send me an email so that I can actually just invite you to be part of Pinterest. Next, you must have, and this is something that you must have by now, you need to have a Twitter account, you need to have a LinkedIn account, and you need to have one or possibly 2 or even 3 Facebook accounts, your personal, and possibly some of you should have already some fan pages. So those need to also be part of your homework that you need to have done by next week. Next, I need you to check your cloud score on www.cloud.com. You can just go there and find out actually how this is done. And the magic number to hit for cloud is 50. So I mean, we're going to be working. That's going to be our first point to do. We're going to have to go from wherever you are. I mean, possibly you have 2 or 3. We're going to have to start working to get a cloud score of 50. So that's very, very important. Make sure that you open a cloud score there. And also what I want you to do is I want you to watch episode 19 and episode 20 of my Amazing Websites television show. And you can actually find it on amazingwebsites.tv/archives. There you're going to be able to find all the episodes that I have done. Look for 19 and 20, and then in 19 and 20 you're going to find all the things that I would like you to install in your Firefox browser. So I don't want you to be operating in Chrome. I don't want you to be operating in anything else but Firefox. And the reason why I want Firefox is the one that most professionals do use for marketing. So that's why I want you to go to use Firefox. So perfect. With this, we have finished with the presentation. However, wait, because of course we're going to have a question and answer session. If you are not signed up for the From Zero to Hero project and you are interested in being part of the audience, unfortunately we cannot take any more people to be part of the contestants. But if you would like to be part of the audience, obviously there is a cost to it. It's not for free, but of course it's I mean, compared to what you're going to be getting, it's nothing. Please make sure to send me an email to Ernesto@EntoTrainingMail. Send me your Skype ID, and then I will have a call with you to see if you actually qualify. You have the qualifications to be also part of our audience. As you can see, this is going to be a very, very interesting project, and I'm sure that you're going to really, really benefit. So now, once again, I welcome all of you officially for your Zero to Hero project. For those of you that are already in the project, this is an absolutely pleasure to have you here. And now I think it's time. We're going to go to, let's just do something very quickly. I'm going to take a few questions from the people that are not in the group yet. And then afterwards, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just open the microphone for those of you that are in the group so that we can actually have some other questions. So if you have any question, make sure to type it now in your asker. I'm not going to open the microphone for this section. This is only for those of you that are not in the observers that only came to this session. This is the only one that you're going to have opening to, and basically I wanted just to show you how this was all about. Okay, so we have our first question. Thank you. So are you running this again in the next future? In the next future? Well, actually, that's a good question. The answer is maybe yes, maybe not. Most likely no. This is very, very time consuming, so I don't think that I'm going to be doing this again in the future. This is a one-off. So definitely, I mean, if you want to join, make sure to join now. Let me see the other question. Okay, how much is it to participate for the audience? Well, the thing is, not everybody qualifies for that. So if you're interested, send me an email with your ID, and then we will have a talk, and then I'll see if you're actually, it's okay for you to be part of the audience. Cool. Let me see another one. What is it? I am not very techy. Would I be able to follow the program? The answer is yes. I mean, the idea is that we will be able to actually provide this service to everyone, because of course not everybody is going to, everything is going to be done by you. I mean, there's a lot of things that could be outsourced. So the answer is yes to that. Let me see another of the questions that I am getting here. Once again, somebody's asking me about what are the costs. Deepak, if you want, just send me an email and I'll connect with you, and I'll let you know later on. I would like to be a member as a contestant. Could I still participate? Well, the answer is no. But if you actually have a very good, case, possibly I will consider having you. But I mean, we are actually already full. But anyway, just let me know. Contact me through Skype. The other question is, can I also be able to follow as a IMI student? The answer is yes. However, of course, there is a cost involved. So if you want, Ahmed, just make sure to send me an email, and I will talk with you personally. I'll tell you how it's going to be working. Next is, will my team be able to hire? Or with my team? Yeah, my team. Okay, with my team, Ernesto's team, will be able to handle all the online requirements. The answer is yes and no. I mean, we will of course be quite busy over here, but we will do as much as possible to help you guys make sure that everything is already set. I'm getting here another question. How much does it? How much do you charge for one-on-one consulting only? Well, that is something that I will have to deal with you. So if you want, just send me an email, and we can just deal with that a little bit later on. Next question is, I'm going to just go for 2 more questions. So if you have any couple of more questions, just let's do it now, because then I'm going to open the microphone for the people which are on the group. Okay, one more question. My webmaster is very expensive. Could you tell me how to run my website on a cheaper way? Absolutely, absolutely. You're going to be learning how you will be able to actually really go down on the prices. I'm getting another question here. Can you please clarify the goal of this project? Yes, Mohammed. The goal of this project is to take you from 90 days from having absolutely zero or very little on the internet to actually really have know exactly how a business is run online. So I think those are more or less all the questions, and I think I am going to be getting, and I'm going to now open the floor to the people which are on the group. So I mean, if you are already part of the group, you have already received you have any questions. Remember, I want you guys to participate. So just tell me, or if you don't have any questions, I would actually like you to tell me what you think of the event and of the content. So whatever questions you have, guys, or just what I want you to do is just raise your hand. I mean, somewhere there you should have a way to raise your hand, and then I will let me see. I will just be able to open the mic for you. So I have, okay, Margarita. Let me just open the microphone for you, Margarita. You have a question? Tell me.
My question is, I find I find all the things that we have to do quite scary, because there's so much that I'm not familiar with. I'm not familiar with Firefox, for example.
Yeah. No,
And so on.
that's fair enough, Margarita. I really appreciate that you're actually bringing this. This is a great question. The best way to handle this is, my motto is, if you're in doubt, Google it. So this is actually my best recommendation to you. If you do not, for example, if I mention something you're not aware, this is why we are having actually this question and answer session. So you asked a great question. What do I do? The best thing to do is just basically go and Google how to install Firefox. Or the best other thing that you can do is go to YouTube and search how do I install Firefox, and they will give you instructions. They will give you instructions perfectly so that you will know how to do that. Does that make sense?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. That's a very important point. Don't feel overwhelmed, guys. I mean, because of course there's a lot of information that you are not afraid of, but don't feel afraid. That's why it's important that you have me around here. And if you do not know what's going on, all you need to do is either ask the question during this time, or go to the Facebook group and ask the question, and either me or someone else, which is a little bit more experienced, will be able to actually answer that question. So let me just go to Morten. Morten, you have a question?
Hi, Ernesto. Yes, I have. Is it possible to get a plan for the webinars? I mean, from now on and onwards, as I guess quite many of us are busy, hopefully.
Yeah.
So we know exactly what timings there will be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just for planning.
Yeah, I just send the webinars. I don't think that I will be able to actually have the exact dates for the 12 weeks. However,
at least the first month.
It's very, very likely it's going to be either Sunday at this specific time, or Monday. That's when I'm going to try to run the webinars. Possibly you can tell me.
Sundays will be perfect.
Okay, so perfect. Okay, well, possibly we will go on Sundays. Can you possibly tell me, the guys which are inside of the program, can you possibly tell me what is more convenient, Sunday or Monday? Just type there in your question and answer session. So, okay, Sunday. Okay, we're getting a lot more people for Sunday. Okay, perfect. Very, very good. Excellent. All right. Very good. Thank you, Morten. Let me see another question. Okay, guys. Now for the participants, could you just give me your feedback on how this session was, and if you, what else would you like me to change and include in every session? I think that's an important thing. So only this is more than anything for the people which are already enrolled in the program. So, okay, I'm getting some feedback. Okay, excellent. Enjoyed it. Very good. So you're telling me good but very basic. Yes, of course. This was very basic too, because of course, we're just getting started. Thank you, Anna. Thanks for your feedback. If you have any other question, I open the microphone for you. Excellent. Perfect, Rick. Thank you very much. Yeah, of course. There's a lot of influence from Tony. Very good. Okay, fantastic, Sheree. Excellent. Very good. I just need to know how to access Facebook. Anna, just send me an email through and I'll get you set up so that you will be able to access the feedback. Excellent. Now, through the next sessions on the webinar, make sure that you ask me questions and that you have questions prepared. And I'm going to be opening the microphone for you so that you don't have to just type it. But I want you to make sure that you actually ask me you ask me those questions. Or Rick, I have a question from Rick. Rick, another question? You have a question, Rick?
Yeah, as we prepare for the next couple... Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Perfectly, yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Oh, great. Yeah, as I prepare for the next couple sessions, I'll probably be going out and buying a bunch of domain names. This probably gets in a little bit to the next session, but I was wondering if you had any recommendations